Can $1,000 really build a crypto empire? I'm documenting everything, the wins, the fails, the passive income. I made a video 2 weeks ago talking about this, of how I'm going to start this process, and this is an entire series I'm building out. And the aim here is to publish the episode of this every single Thursday, and just to kind of document the entire journey. So many YouTube channels out there show up how you're earning and how you can potentially earn in crypto, and it's all well, obviously, that ability that they're able to do it, and congrats to them. But the big problem here is there's a lot of people can't get into crypto, or maybe haven't got the funds to get into it in large amounts. So what I'm trying to do is document it in a point of view that it's as real as possible, and we're going to go through everything. There's nothing here that's going to be hidden from what it is. If an LP position goes bad on me, I'll show it going bad, and aim here is to build out a long-term sustainable income system here. So first things first, we're jumping over here to this fancy design that I've done. You can see here in the fancy design, I've kind of tried to add some elements to it to kind of maybe bridge it between LPs and understand general in business. So if we put our business hats on, I suppose, treat each LP as its own individual business. So you can see here, this is one LP. So yeah, so one LP is here, and then the next one is down here is what I'm looking to start. So what we're going to do here is our first business. Let's just use the bookies as an example here. We invest $1,000 into this position, and this is going to pay us a cash flow every single day. With that cash, we have two options. Option one is we can compound it back into the position. Option two is we can start a new business and move forward. Now, key here is obviously we can incorporate high risk APRs or high risk businesses, but we're looking for profitable ones now at this moment in time at the early stages to build a strong foundation. So most pubs, most bookies, always very busy, and this is the kind of mindset I'm trying to bring across into this whole series. You can see here the character in the top right. You know, he's down on his luck. He's basically starting his own little journey. He's happy out. You know, pretty much that's it. What we're aiming to do is to get to something like this. You know, signals wealth. We have the whole lot of it. You know, this is the kind of mindset we're wanting to get to, and as I said, it's just for pretty much a bit of fun to bring this element in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump straight on over to our first position and pretty much tell you how I jumped into this. So we're looking to get into this with SUSDC. APR is around, you see there, jump that time, has been around 240% fairly regularly. It does drop down a little bit, but does pump up again. So our range here at this moment in time is from 50 to 59 cent. If you don't understand concentrate liquidity, make sure you check it out. But just to give you a brief, what I did is I went to the daily chart of SUSD or USD. I screenshotted the entire chart. I went to ChatGPT. I made sure it was in the code analysis version of it, and pretty much from there asked it for the best opportunities and for risk to reward and LP positions. So it gave me one was a really wide one, which was around I think 30 to 40 cent up to 5, 6, 70 cent, which is too high for me because the APR is going to be too low. However, with this position, I've worked out we got to 50 cent to 59 cent. We're still plus or minus 8%, and from there we're going to get roughly 251%. So what I'm going to do now is jump into this position, again, just to show you our process, how it's done. We're going to get into with roughly $500,000 what I'm looking to try and get. So at the moment it's going to be a little bit higher, so we go keep it as close as I can to, look, we leave it at that. We go 495, and we're going in with at this amount of obviously S tokens. So it's a simple enough process. You deposit, obviously doing it through Ledger Wallet again. And as I said, like, the key here is we're starting to build out positions. And yes, this can go out of range to the upside and out of range to the downside. Again, we need to try and keep it as close to the dollar value as we can. So in this scenario, that's what we're doing. We're not too worried about if we end up with more S or we end up with USDC. We're wanting to make sure that we kind of try to maintain our actual overall value. But in the same token, we're trying to earn. And you know, for most businesses, that's the key here, is you want to earn from it. So this goes in. See it here. I've provided actually bang on $1,000 of liquidity. That worked out really well for me. So we're in here now at $1,000, 1 cent. We're just going to put it at 1,000. You can see here I have X Shadow holdings already. This is nothing to do with this challenge. I have unclaimed rewards, which is from voting. Here I haven't reclaimed them at all. So, but here is where the key one is what we're going to be paying attention to down in section. So what I'm going to do now is just put this quickly in. We have 250%. We have $1,000 invested into it. I'm going to put it in here, 251%. And currently, the Empire is worth $1,000. So we can expect, I think I worked it out as earning roughly roughly $1. Oh, sorry. So we're going to earn roughly, I think it is $7 or something like that, per day with this $1,000. So the aim, as I said, is to compound. So what I'm going to do is next week, or not next week even, but during the week, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to claim the rewards every day. I'm going to either compound or potentially start to build out a second business, or I just hold the yield in stable coins and then look to build it out again, maybe live with the next video. So look, as I said, follow along if you're interested in this kind of stuff. Again, it's not financial advice, it's just to kind of showcase how you can actually potentially build out. And as I said, I've done this already with numerous different wallets that I've had, and this is how, as I said, don't have to buy crypto anymore. I just allow it to build and build and build, and the rewards start to flow. The key thing here is you don't get into positions that are extremely risky, or you don't get into a position up here and, let's just say, using this example again, and decide to go insane APRs to one tick, because you're going to be out of range within a few seconds, and you're going to be constantly getting a permanent loss along the way. So look, again, much information as I can give you on it, and I'm going to be 100% honest with the entire journey, and take it from there how things are going. So look, thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.